Hello Aries, I am Ulrich, I am a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the spiritual philosophical card reading for your sign. As always, we will do 4 card readings. These are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. The subject of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are immediately connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Aries, here we go for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. Hello Aries, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your spiritual philosophical card reading. As your first card, we see here the card that we need to let go and relax. What does this tell us? Well, we all have an ego, a self-esteem. This develops since we are a child. We have our education, we have our parents, we have our environmental factors. Everything, this all shapes us who you are today. And this is representing our ego. And it's possible here that your ego, it's struggling here to have some focus on some aspects in your life. You try to stop certain things, try to slow down certain things. Maybe sometimes also it's like that we try to press for getting certain controls. But here this card tells us here, maybe this is not possible at this time. It's like time for more letting go. It's like we want to hold the tides from happening. Like for the oceans, we cannot stop the tides. They are very strong. They are connected to the moon cycles, and we cannot. Nobody can stop the tides. So here it's grueling and silly to try that, because you know you're in for an impossible task here. This is what we are seeing here. There could be some ups and downs in your life. Literally, ebbs and flood here now are happening to you. There will probably be some modifications needed, and probably you will need to be confronted with certain determination, and also courage is important here. So here we need to reflect for a while. We need to see in what areas of our life our ego is holding the reins, and it resists to go with the flow. So here also sometimes we need to ask ourselves questions, because probably there are some certain things that you try to avoid in your life. And here we should ask, what exactly are you trying to avoid? Are you trying to avoid things, or are you trying to hold controlling things? This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes this is the question is, are you trying to hold control? And here, what do I handle here for letting go, rather than let it go freely? It's like we cannot let the control go here. We want to keep in charge of things here. And here sometimes it's beneficial actually to speak the question out aloud. This is what we are seeing here also with this card. Anyway, once we know in which area your ego is resisting this flow of life, ask your mind here, your higher mind, to step in and overcome those blockages. It can greatly help you here to let go and relax. Like here we choose. For instance, I'm giving an example here of control. We have something in one hand and we draw an object with the other, and we try to catch it with the same hand. It's not possible here to catch it because the other ball is still in your hand. So you cannot here. And we need to let go of one object for being able to catch another. So here we see that our body sometimes also, it feels like stiff, rigid. This is what we are coming here. So here we are asked here to breathe and face certain and accept certain challenges here. It's possible that you might be very fearful. Maybe this is a situation where you have been in before, and you try to, with all means, to stop this. But here we see that our mind, maybe you have much more experience now compared to before, and your mind is ready now to take it on. but you could do this with a certain grace. You don't need to let yourself bring in situations that are not graceful, that are humiliating you. This is not the purpose of this card. But here we see that we need to do this in a certain grace, and if we don't do this, we could get cut off from certain choices. So here we need to have faith and accept the changes that are meant to come up to you with a good heart. The next card that we are seeing here is the card of coming down to earth. What does this card tells us? Well, here, the first thing that this card tells us here, that maybe we have built up an image for ourselves. Everybody has an image in the world, the way that other people see us, our ego. But here, it's like we have built a false ego. You see the person here, she's looking into the mirror and she's looking at who she really is. And here this card tells us it's time to be honest with ourselves here. It's possible that there are certain failures in your life at the present moment. And sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves and stop forging ourselves in something that we are not, and that is not meant to be us. This is what we are seeing here. Also, this card is not the card of thumbs up. It's not the card now for putting thumbs up and saying everything or presenting everything is nice, because mostly with this card, it's debatable here. We see that something is off here. Anyway, with this card, what we can do here is, I guess, as the first card said, we relax, but then also we take a step back. You should play the role of observing your environment, observing what is happening to you. There's no need for rush here. We need to observe the situation here, and if we take a step back here and we play the role of observer here, we will get a much better picture for actually what is going on here, because here we see that there is something going on beyond the superficial. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes also this means we are in a period that we don't let ourselves push down. It could be that we have a very strong sense of our ego. We are not willing to put ourselves down, but sometimes we need to let it go. Maybe with this card, we need to reflect wisely, because this mask, this conditioning that we've built up for ourselves here, it could be like a manipulative, artificial, defensive image. But the question is this really you? You could also have an attitude towards people. Whatever happens, don't come too close to me, or I will hurt you. So others perceive this like they cannot come too close to you. It's like there's like something dangerous around you, and you express this. But not necessarily, it's just the image that you want to project in the world. This is what we are seeing here with this card. But it's also, we need to think here. Some things in your life you are aware of that are blocked. And it's like we are in a passage here, and there's no, that we are in front of the wall here. So sometimes also this is the card of authenticity. And maybe we are going along with certain areas of our life, but it means also that we need to have more authenticity. And maybe in some parts of your life, you're not authentic enough, maybe not creative enough, maybe you're not enough yourself here. And sometimes here, this card is like you're looking at yourself that you're playing on a stage. That's why the mirror is here. And it's like we're playing something like a comedy here that is going on. And here sometimes we hide things, and you don't want to reveal certain things because of this image that you have built here. But it's important now with this card here that you project in the world what you really are in a graceful way. Because here the ego could blocking your true self, your deep inner self here. So here we are asked to overcome this image that we built up for ourselves and share your light with others. This is what we see here and what is expected from you of the moment. It will be very beneficial if you project yourself more in the world as your true self. This could be on the creative front, on the working front, but there's some lack here with this card of creativity, authenticity. It will be very beneficial for everybody around you, but especially for yourself here, this card, if you adjust and show who you really are. The next card that we are seeing here, it's time to turn on the light. What does this card want to say? Well, here we see that if we think about it, that we always notice our flaws. Instead of seeing the bigger pictures, we always have the focus on what we do wrong, what are the flaws that are happening here. And it's like our mind here, it's focused to a perfection. This is what we are seeing here. But the question is there something such as perfect? Maybe the balance here would be a better thing to see it here. Your ego or your personality could see that everything is your fault here. And your mind, on the other hand, sees this in a different way, and it sees this actually as a process of progress. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible that with this card, for the moment, that you feel separate, you feel alone. This is possible also, but don't forget that our higher selves is connected to everything and all. And we are an essential component of this whole, also from our higher self. Your ego might see darkness, but your mind wants to see the light. So there's like a duality here going on. And again, here with this card, we are asked to examine our current situation in a more philosophical, higher spiritual way. And this is also the card of questions. Here we are asked to examine our situation, but also what is working in your life, what is not working in your life. Are things working as you wish them to be? And are there things that are not? And also it's about learning. What are you learning currently now? What part of your life is improving and is going the right way? So if you look at all these things and you look them in a more philosophical way, and you stop criticizing yourself, you will see things in a different mind. You need to focus on the things that you really are authentic you. This is what we are seeing here. But sometimes our ego, it cannot see past its own fear, because we might be conditioned and we might try to hold on, as we saw in the first time, maybe things that are in the past. This is what we are seeing here. Our mind here returns to a higher light. This is what we are seeing here. And if you connect with this higher spirit, you will see that all is well. So we need to make some adjustments here and see things in a brighter light. So Aries, this is all for the Shell or the Water Group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you are interested in more earthly card readings, you can always check my work business card readings that I do each month for the sign of Aries. And of course, also we do the philosophical financial card readings, the three you can put together and you have a better overview for the month to come. Anyway, Aries, I want to thank you for your time you spend on my channel. Thank you for watching. And of course, thank you for subscribing, and we see each other next time. Thank you and bye-bye for now. Hello Aries, and welcome to the Air group for your spiritual philosophical card reading. As the first card here that we see here on your person is the card that we need to accept love in our life. Here we see that we are all connected to the universe. We are all connected to our creator. For some, this will be their God. For some, this is their spirituality. But we all know, or most of us realize, that there is something above us that created this whole thing, that we are living here. And here we see that the accepting love could be or could present a problem here for you at the moment. And it's like our ego, our personality, this is our self-esteem. Since we were a child, we develop a certain ego. We have certain conditions in our life. We have our parents, we have our education, the things that happen to us in our life, and it all shapes us in what we are, our ego. And here we see that our ego is doubting that this is the truth, that we should accept certain love in our life. It's possible that you that you think that you're not good enough for receiving love, that you're not smart enough for receiving love, that you're not gentle enough for feeling truly to be loved. But here, this is a lie. This is a lie here, and you must fight it. Normally, Aries is a fighter here, and here we see here that we need to fight and that we have the right on love as much as the next person here. Here we see that we have a lot of inner strength here, and we are in a certain learning curve of human experience here. Here we see that you need to realize that most of us are unconditionally loved, but sometimes our ego is blocking this love. Anyway, here your ego is trying to do very much his best to let you believe the opposite. So here we need to get away because there are shadows over us. This is also the card of shadows. It means that there are some shadows over us, and it's like we are standing that are projection, and we see something on the wall there that is projected. So if we project, we keep a flashlight, the mouse is there, and the mouse suddenly becomes a giant. So this is what we are seeing now. We see that our fears are expanding, but actually it's something that is not really there. It's something in our mind here. This is what we are seeing here, and it creates shadows of fear that are not necessary and that actually should not be there. So you should step away from this here. You should let go of these fears and accept that actually you're ready to receive love. Here, this is also a card that asks questions, and we should ask ourselves here, in what areas of your life are you unable to feel love? Do you not feel love? Sometimes also it means that love is presented to us, but for some reason, for some personal reason, we could reject it. And it could be because of your ego. You don't want to accept it from a certain person, from a certain situation here. And you could have, it's like your ego wants to tell you you're here incompetent, but this is not so. It's the shadows here that are lurking. This is what we are seeing here. And here we need to ask our higher mind here to let this light shine upon us, so these dark conditions that are above us or might be above us here are disappearing. So here we need to breathe and accept the light that has put upon you. You just need to get away, get out of the shadows here. Let these shadows no longer hunt you. You need to actually chase them away here. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes also there's a self-doubt, but there should not be. There should not be any self-doubt here, because there is now nice things here for us in store here. This is what we see here. This is actually the card of making progress in love, but we need to be willing to accept here. It's like we judged that we cannot receive it, but actually it's there. So this is a little bit a difficult card, but if you want to, it's there. So maybe we should adjust our conditions. This is what we are seeing here. So the love is there, but you need to be willing to accept it. The next card here, it's also, it could be connected. As I said here in the previous card here, it's possible that you are unable to receive love or tenderness from certain people, and this could be connected. We go to the age of Aquarius, and we will all fall, as we say, but also upgrade ourselves in certain groups. We will connect with a certain soul family, people who are like-minded like us, where when you say something, you have the feeling that this person, yeah, this person really says what I'm thinking. And this is what we mean here with soul family, people who are like-minded like you. Here we see with this card, it's not the time to do things alone. You could feel isolated here, and you actually require some additional extra support and energy. And it's time here that you bring yourself together with similar minds. These might be people that you know well, maybe already really well, and they have a deep love for you. So we come in the same again, but some people you are unable to, but here in the other group, if they are like-minded, you will be able to open up. This is what we are seeing. The reason for this is very simple. It's because they appreciate your thinking, your mindness. This is what we are seeing here. And this is the people that you need to reunite with. People who love you and love you for your mind. It doesn't matter if it's a long phone call conversation or whatever, or actually in physical, you share a meal with people, you go for a walk and you communicate with them. But you need some support here, affection, and this perspective that you will receive from them will confirm and energize you that you're on the right track. And it will help you find your confidence, your self-confidence again. And you will see things more clear again, and you will know where to go with your current situation. Here, this card, actually, it's like we need to hear another bell ring. And when you hear the bell ring, you say, yeah, this is the tune I'm looking for. This is what we are seeing here with this card. So we need to take a step back here. You need to take a step back, think about our concerns here for these issues that we are having here. And you need to have a conversation, have some quality time with people who are in the same mind as you. This time spent with this soul family, it will remind you of what is the most important for you and what is on your mind right now. And you will find your path in life back. It's essential for the next steps to come that you connect with people who are like-minded like you. It's essential for success and moving on in life. The next card here, all this situation, it will not be so easy here. And here we see the cards here, they ask us also to smile, to laugh, to be happy. It's not be easy, but it is the advice here from the cards here. No matter how difficult life is and it's looking around you, sometimes also it's intimidation. We could be intimidated in a way in our life here because things are not going as we thought it would be, and our ego wants to take this all very serious. But actually, you, as I said earlier, you should take a step back. We see this here again with the same card. And actually also you should see there is some humor, some fun around you. And here we could do here with these like-minded friends. We watch a movie together, a funny movie. We go to a performance that is funny. This is what we are seeing here, and we actually need to laugh here. We need to see this in a more humoristical way. I'm aware sometimes it's not easy, but here we see actually with this card that even if we have a short period of smiling or happiness, it will energize us. This is what we are seeing here, because laughter, it's often associated with the voice of the higher mind. So, and when we laugh, there are some people, there are some things here that you will see that it's like a part of you is singing when you are laughing. And you relax here, you relax. Your breathing is different, your whole body, if you felt a little bit stiff, here you will see if you're laughing, your body, it relaxes. And this is what we are seeing here with the card here. Especially if people are giving you a hard time, you go in this group, you will relax, even though your life is not easy. So try to make some fun in the best way you can here, because here with this card, we should prevent ourselves from isolating. Maybe you have literally been in lockdown for a long time. If it's not been in a lockdown, you've been, because you see here, the clown jumps out of the box here. So you have been isolating yourself here, and we need to find our inner child back. This is what we are seeing here, because the sun or the stars actually are out of the box. And here we need to have fun here in our life. It's something here is preventing you and is trying to isolate you. But you need to get out of the box. This is what we are seeing here. You need to find your strength back, even though you had a hard time, even though it was not difficult before. And you will see that this laugh, it has a healing power. And this is where you need to go. So it's important you find the same group of people, you have fun with them. And if you do, you will also be able to accept love in your life. It's like here, we need to relax. We really need to take a break, even if people around you give you a hard time. So Aries, this is all for the For the air group, I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit your role, please check the other 3 that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. If you have more interest in more earthly card readings, we do also business money card readings. You can find those also on my channel, and you could put the 3 together and then you have a better overview for the month to come. Anyway, Aries, thank you for your time. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello, Aries, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, we need to take small steps for proceeding. What does this card tell us? Well, here we see that maybe there's some changes coming in our life. Or maybe we are forced to make certain changes in our life, and this whole thing could intimidate you. Maybe you come in a situation in your life where change is put upon you, or you made certain changes, but now you're in these changes. These changes or the steps that you need to take could seem very big. Anyway, here they will most likely intimidate you here, but this is actually a ploy of your ego. We all have an ego, self-esteem. It's something that we built since we were a child. It's influenced by our childhood, by our parents, by our education, and this all shapes you into who you are today. This is called an ego, and it's possible that your ego, it makes you scared of these steps you need to take, and you're living in a kind of fear. Also, you see here, if this represents the penguin here, the baby penguin, if it represents the group, you withdraw yourself. You withdraw here because you might find yourself intimidated here. Here we need to take on the challenge of living again here. Here we see also it's best if we don't have the big picture yet, that we take and divide this in small steps, because sometimes our ego could be intimidated, even though if the changes are suddenly put upon you, for reintegrating in certain processes or certain things that we need to integrate again back in, we better do this. This card advises us to do this in small, realistic daily steps. What you need to do also, if you didn't think about your goals yet, but you should also put some goals with this card. You should write down realistic goals and then achieve these goals one by step. Don't rush here with this card. Do only 1-2 things every day to make your dream or what you want come true. You need to set a preset goal here. And also, this is about the physical activities. Sometimes we need to become physically more active. I'm not saying that your goal need to be for running the marathon, but maybe you have been a little bit in lockdown, literally physically, or you have separated yourself from the people here. And we need to become physically more active here. Maybe you can go out for a walk more here. This is what we are seeing here. And it can energize you here and can make you maybe easier to think about the goals you want to achieve for your life for the days to come. Also, if this is about the job change, if this is connected to your life right now, also you should start writing down what you like, but especially what you don't like. It's important because most people only write down what they like, but it's important also that we write down what we don't like, because we need to realize that there were some things maybe before in our life that discouraged us because we didn't like them anymore. Maybe you are changed, so it's very important also you do so. If it seems like an impossible task for you, ask a friend, somebody who's very close to you and who knows how your mind works. You need to have a like-minded person, not somebody who's opposite to you, but you need somebody who knows how your mind exactly works. And this is also very good for a change a job here, and these people know how your mind works. Anyway, if we set certain goals, do this also slowly, write it down, and day by day here we make some adjustments. And then after we realized what is our goal, what we know, what we don't want, and where we want to go here, we do this step by step and we move on. Sometimes here if there is a big intimidation in our life, these steps are bestly done slowly, modestly, and gradually. Even though you were put under duress for a great transformation, it doesn't mean that you suddenly can rush into this whole thing. Sometimes Aries is fast, they rush into things, but if we rush into things, sometimes we can make the wrong decisions. And these decisions could be embedded in something that was before, but we don't want anymore. So if we make certain decisions, maybe those are not the right ones. So think about it wisely before this making big transformations, because they could be too threatening for the ego. This is what we are seeing here. So small, subtle changes every day, day by day here, and you will reach your goal in less than no time. Don't rush, don't pump up the things. It's possible that you need some distance also, but especially look for like-minded people if you want some help. The next card that we are seeing here is the card that it's time to let certain things go of our life. Also, this is the card about relaxation. It's possible also that, again, here we see the struggle here, the struggle that Aries has for this reading. And it's possible that certain aspects of our life, we try to slow them down, change them. And it's also, Aries is a very strong sign, and sometimes they are ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war. And we see here sometimes that we try to hold with all force the changes that are put upon us. Here we can also see, if we realize that due to the circumstances that we were all confronted in the last 2 years, a lot of people are going in a period of change. This is not only for Aries, but also collectively. A lot of Aries will undergo changes collectively. Here, this is what we are seeing here. And a lot of people will try to stop the change. But the question will be, will this be possible? If we are going to the sea and we are trying to hold the tides, we know this is an impossible job. The moon is too strong. We cannot hold the planet of the moon, which attract the water. So here we see we are put in front of an impossible task, and we will need to flow. We will need to flow with small steps. This is what we are seeing here. There will be ebbs and flows, literally, and ups and downs. This is what we are seeing here. One day you will reach your goal, the next day not. There are modifications here necessary, and also you will need to be determined and courageous. But Aries normally can be very courageous. They are in general pioneers. But if you do some pioneerships, do step by step. This is what we are seeing here with this card. Also, sometimes it means if we are confronted with certain things that we dislike, we try to avoid them. And here we should ask ourselves, what exactly are you trying to avoid? What are you trying to hold control over? And here, it's like you hold something in your hand and you are unwilling to let go of this control. Like, for instance, you have a ball in your hand here and you throw up another ball and you want to catch, but you cannot because the other ball is still here. So we need to let go of this before we can catch the other one. So it's like here also we need to refocus. This is what we are seeing here. And if you hold on to this ball, is this beneficial for you? Or is it better to let go? It's like here sometimes also we are resisting the flow of life. Things will be changing. We're coming in the time of Aquarius now, and things will be changing. We are all confronted with it here, and you need to relax. You could be very stressed also here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, it's time here to move ahead here. Sometimes also here we feel that our body is very, literally could be stiff, like we are rigid. We'll be having, if we look at ourselves in the mirror, we could see that we are like stiff, rigid like that. Our body is not very flexible here. And it's like we're literally resisting the change. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes the solution for this can be breathing exercises here. This is what we are seeing here. But we will probably need to accept the challenges. This is what we are seeing here. And probably there's fear. There's fearful here, and we will try to stop the changes. But here we see if we go with the flow, with the current challenges, it will be in your benefit. So I'm not saying here you need to let yourself humiliate in certain ways or disgrace yourself. This is not what the cards are telling us here. But what we need to do here is we need to realize that there is something above us that will give us the strength and the faith to accept the changes that are put upon you from the good heart. And maybe after this period of challenge is over, you will see that these things were put upon you with a good heart. The next card that we are seeing here is, that's the card that we need to shine with our whole light. What does this card tell us? Well, here we see that sometimes with this card, we need to realize what happened yesterday. Today is a new day. This is what we are seeing here. So brighten up your days here. Let your sun shine. We are now in the period coming Aries. A lot of Aries, their birthday period is coming up here. And here we see that we need to brighten up our sun. This is what we are seeing. You need to rise above this sea of trouble. And don't let your ego again stifle your inner light. This is again here, not stifling. Forget the experiences that you have forgotten. Of course, you can remember them and you can then apply them if they are directly connected to your business life, to your working life. Of course, that's not the forgetting that is intended here with this card, but we need to move on. This is what we are seeing here. We need to honor here our higher spirit. It's like we need to polish ourselves up, maybe get a haircut, maybe wear your nice dresses, your nice clothes. This is what we are seeing here. Put on your best outfit. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, but here we are asked to put on our best outfit here. Style your hair, polish your shoes, and above all, if you can, try to get your smile out of the closet because it's important here. Here we should refuse and we should resist here to let fog invade your present. Maybe you have been in the fog before, but it's time here to let our sun shine. It's very important to do here that we are seeing here. Don't forget that you also have free will. This free will, it comes with decisions and results of these decisions. But if you see that your situation is very difficult, you will realize that you cannot go on as it is now. The ego clings to hold on to the past. But the past can be a very good backpack for things to come in the future. But sometimes we cannot cling on to it anymore. This is what this card tells us here. Here we see that we need to live more in the moment. This is what we are seeing here. Aries can also look very much in the future. Sometimes we live too much. Aries can live too much in the future also. But here, this card tells us you need to try to do it in the present moment. You need to try to free yourself from all that has happened before. But of course, use your experience. So here, set up here a plan to make your spirit shine again here and take pleasures in life here, especially personal pleasures that you have the right on. So Aries, this is all for the Stone or the Earth group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. If you're interested in more earthly card readings, we do also business work card readings for your sign. You can find them all on my channel, and also we do financial philosophical card readings, the three you can put together and you get a clearer overview about the month to come. Anyway, Aries, I want to thank you for your time you spend on my channel. Thank you for subscribing and see you next time. Bye bye for now. Hello Aries, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. As your first card that you see here, we need to decide on certain outcomes in our life. What does this card tells us? Well, it tells us here that probably you find you find yourself in certain situations. It's possible that we don't feel our creative power too much. Maybe you don't recognize or you don't see that you have fallen into a certain trap. Maybe this could be a trap like you see yourself as a victim. It's possible here that we feel a little bit desperate. At the moment, we feel a little bit at the mercy of fate, but this could also be related to the current times that you're in. Remember, you're never alone. This is a very difficult time that a lot of Aries are undergoing now. Here we see that some things are connected to fate. It's like a generational fate here that we are having here. And you could think, because maybe more people in your environment, you could start thinking you don't have a choice. In one way, on the collective front, it might be difficult. But here, you cannot forget that we create also our own world. So it's important here that we visualize. We visualize and we use our creative energy. So you can accomplish your goals. I'm not saying here you need to be like a steam locomotive here, because you will have a lot of energy, this group will have a lot of energy. You need to think also wisely. Because if we rush things too fast, we could take the wrong decision, especially with this energetic card here. So you need to think wisely, and you should redirect all the energy that you feel in any form of creativity that you specifically like. Also, you see the judge here, he's not in the courthouse, he's in the restaurant, and he decides what's on the menu. So, and that's exactly what you need to do. You need to decide what you want to eat. You need to decide what is on your menu. Here, this is a card, as I said, of visualization. If due to circumstances, you are suddenly put in front of the choice of a different job, instead of thinking, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get one, you should decide that you will have one. You need to really focus it. You need to decide. Like a judge here, you take the hammer and you say, I will get a job. This is actually what you need to do. And if you make this decision, you will see it will become very satisfying. Of course, what does a judge? Before he decides, he deliberates. So you need to deliberate. You need to use all your experience from the past. And you need to use this for transferring this important decision, because it might be an important decision that you need to take, especially on the work front. Use the things, remember the past, and remember what you didn't like before. It's important also to remember what you didn't like. If you go out of certain jobs before, try to remember what was that, and try to put your focus on what you want. So what you don't want and what you want, and then you use the hammer and you decide. It will be very satisfying if you do so. If you do, you will see that you will find something that you will love, and that it probably will start soon. So plan your future here based on your decisions. Rather, we cannot be afraid also. Sometimes it might be a very difficult decision here that you need to take, but what is especially important here is visualization. You need to see where you are going. You need to see it in your mind. It's like you're watching the movie and you see, this is where I'm going. And this is exactly what you need to do. And you will see that good things will happen then. You will see that you see the locomotive here, it's on the track. That's why the card is here, that you come out on the right track. And if you make the right decision, you can put a lot of energy in this new path that you are going, because we know that Aries has a lot of energy. They are ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war. And if this is released, yeah, it's a very, very big energy that is released here. So here, focus on your hopes, your dreams, and let go of the old things. If you feel in yourself a voice is telling you, no, you cannot, no, it will not, this is not the way you need to go. You need to see that if you aim to something, expect to get it. And the energy is here. The next card here, as I said here, this is the card of energy. It's also the card of too much energy. It tells us here that we need to take things easy, convert the energy here. We could here, again, it's related to the first card. We could sometimes have the feeling. There are two ways we can express this energy. We can go all the way in it, or we can run away from it. But the energy need to comes out. This is what we are seeing here. And here we could have like a reaction of attack or flee. And this is the card also of adrenaline. Here, Mars, the god of war, is literally ready to battle, to fight. And when your body is very overwhelmed here with this hormone, it's difficult here to connect with our true spirit, with something higher in ourselves. As I said here, just deliberate, that's why the card is here, wisely over your decisions. Don't make rush. Sometimes also, if we will have communication with people, you will see that you're on a very short leash. Maybe you have been locked up, literally, and now you're in a way on parole, let's say. Maybe you have been literally locked up because of the situation that we are facing in the last 2 years, and you have come in a kind of freedom. And because of this freedom, you're tired of the lockup before, and suddenly this energy comes available. Of course, that's a lot, especially if you've been locked up or locked down or not being able to express this. There's a lot here. This is what we are seeing here. And sometimes here, it means that we could say things that we don't mean. We make rash decisions. We draw conclusions that are irrelevant. We could react in a very excusative manner, just like the judge here, like we are a higher place. So be careful here for making decisions. See that you're not on your high horse if you make a decision. Be wisely, come to earth, keep your feet on the ground here, reconnect here with your mind, get in line here, adapt to certain situation, let some steam off. If you don't know how to let your steam off, for instance, go to the gym, go for running, do some sports. If you're into combat sports, you can learn some combat sports here. This is all good. Hit a sandbag, whatever, jump in the shower, shout, whatever it is here. But you need to let this adrenaline go in some way. You need to redirect it here. This is what we are seeing here. There will be a lot of things going on here. We see this again here with this card here, and probably it's like you want to tell somebody, to the universe, what you are going through. But the problem is, no, not everybody would understand. And it's like we want to growl here like a bear and we roll our eyes. We want to let steam off. And here, this could frustrate us. But if you are unable to do this in a physical way, what you can do, it also sometimes, you know, the words that are saying the pen is mightier than the sword. You can write it down. This is important. Also, we could write it in a journal. We could let our stress off, steam off with writing it down. This is very important. Also, you can use that way also. You don't need to share this book. You keep it to yourself. You keep it private here. But it's could be important for you that you write down your worries, your frustrations in a journal here. It's like we literally need to unleash this put up anger that we have for the period that has just passed in our life. This is what we are seeing here, and we need to wait to make certain decisions in our life. This very energetic period is vanished, and until we start to calm down. So don't make these decisions if you are upset. if you feel that you have a very energetic day, to put it mildly, don't pick up the phone, don't reply to certain emails if these people are disturbing you or they are saying certain things to you. Wait and see before you can act more clear. You will see here when this fear or this anger subsides, your higher spirit will kick in. Maybe if you don't wait, you could literally be attacked by people, or sometimes maybe people you attack people. So it goes here. It can come physically to you, or you bring it physically out. So be careful here with this card here, with these frustrations here, and try to unload them in a neutral place or in a neutral way. Also, this anger, it's inside you. So we display it, or it's displayed towards us. This is what we are seeing. But anyway, sometimes it takes two to tango. So sometimes we see it on the screen, and sometimes the screen come literally to us. This is what we are seeing here. So we need to be wise here. Anyway, we need to find a safe way here to unwind ourselves and rechannel this energy. This is what we are seeing here. It will help you literally to diffuse here and put the situation back on the right track. So if you are confronted with certain decisions for work, you can put them in there. You can put your focus there. But if people disturb you, they annoy you, don't go into it. Try to find your calm here. It's very important to do so. The next card that we are saying here, so it means that probably some of you will not completely will be able to channel this energy, because this is the card from saying I'm sorry here. Here possibly we will hurt some people, not necessarily physically, but we could be short-tempered, and we could say this is it and like that, and you give the whole reasons there. But here this card tells us probably some apologies are in order here. Probably you think to yourself, I'm in the right and this is the way, and I justify it because it's like this and that, and these people behave like this and that. This is like your ego speaking. Our ego is our self-esteem. And it will try to ignore the influence and the strength that you have on others, because the ego is too busy to defend itself. It doesn't mean your deeper self. It's just a superficial you. And here, your higher mind, it would not hesitate to apologize, because you know, in a way, you're smarter. You intuitively feel it. Aries is very intuitive, and you need to follow your intuition. And if you know it's wrong, you know it's wrong. In the strongest intuitive sign is Aries. They are the child of the belt, so sometimes they have a childish intuition, but it's not necessarily bad. You know the saying that goes, the child comes out of the truth the truth is coming out of the mouth of a child. This is the intuition that I'm talking about. So you need to trust also your intuition here. Anyway, remember, if you have made some mistakes here and they are obvious, remember that we are all students of life. We make mistakes, and it's an essential part of the process. And you are blessed with a lot of energy here because you're Aries. But remember also, there's a mind in you, a higher mind. And sometimes the best way is go the Venus way. Venus is the god of love, and mostly Aries and Mars and Venus are always very close together. So, and here we see that it's maybe time to make amends, to forget, to forgive, to ask for forgiveness, to have a diplomatic conversation. This is what we are seeing here. Try to get in a diplomatic conversation. If you would have heard somebody here, follow your mind regarding the mistakes that might have happened here, or maybe pain that is caused to you or you cause to others, because sometimes it's others also that could cause you pain. As I said, it works both ways. Anyway, you should think here, what occasion have you spoken harshly to someone? Maybe you have given certain persons that you actually are not their enemy, but maybe you make them doubt themselves, and you have dampened their spark of life or fire here. This is what we are seeing here. So you should think about that. If you have dampened somebody's joy, if they dampened yours, this is what we are seeing here. Sometimes also, as I said, there's a part Venus here. There could be jealousy playing here. It's possible that you were jealous for somebody and you talk to some person in a disrespectful way. This is also possible with this card. You see here the woman, she's holding the limitations. This is the fence of limitation, and you are there on the edge. This is what we are seeing here. Probably we have been over the edge, we come back up, and now it's time to try to find the middle again, here to find Venus again. Anyway, follow your mind here, your higher mind. Follow the hurt and say, I'm sorry here if that is, don't let your ego stand in the way, because it's possible if you say, I'm sorry, or there is a kind of healing coming over you. And it's possible that the relationship, it gets a total different angle after this apology. So this is possible here. If you apologize, that you see things in a very different perspective. You might, this might come in handy later on. Anyway, we will learn something about this here. It is very important you do so for yourself and also for others. You need to be the smart one here of the group. This is actually where we're getting. So Aries, this is all for the fire or the matches group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you're interested in more earthly card readings, you can also check the work business card readings that I do with the classic Lenormand, and of course the financial card readings that are also more a philosophical approach. You can check them all three and you can put them in your life together, and you can get a better overview for the month to come. So Aries, this is all for this month. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye bye for now.